The wind in Montana had never learned kindness. It swept across the plains like a living force, dragging red dust and cutting cold that burned exposed skin. Above it all stretched a vast, pitiless sky, wide, pale blue, and indifferent to suffering below. Emily Ruse walked beneath it alone. Her wool dress was stained with dust, her boots cracked after 100 miles of hard road. She was only 19, yet hardship had shaped her face with a quiet strength that came from enduring too much, too young. Her green eyes carried no dreams anymore, only resolve. She had learned early that survival was a bargain, work for food, silence for safety, strength for shelter. Each trade kept her alive and took something in return. Now she stood at the edge of the Double S Ranch, her final chance. The ranch clung stubbornly to the land, weather-beaten buildings, a wide corral, a bunkhouse echoing with coarse laughter and harder men. When Emily stepped onto the porch, 5 men looked her over like wolves judging distance. One of them rose slowly, Silas, the foreman. Gray beard, cracked skin, eyes that had seen too many winters. "I'm looking for whoever's in charge," Emily said, steady despite the weight of their stares. "I heard you might need a cook." Laughter followed, crude, sharp. Silas studied her carefully. Something in her posture, still, unyielding, made him pause. At last he nodded. The pay was small, the warning was clear. Fail, and she'd be gone. Emily accepted. She always did. That night she cooked for 20 men. Thick beef stew, fresh bread, strong coffee. They ate in silence at first, then with hunger. When the plates were empty, no one complained. Silas gave a single approving grunt. "You'll do." Days settled into routine. Emily rose before dawn, lit fires, baked biscuits, hauled water. Her hands split and bled, but she never slowed. The men still watched her, still whispered, but something shifted. Her work commanded respect where words never could. One man stood apart, Jacob Stone. Tall, quiet, steady. He worked without show, spoke little, and carried himself with calm authority. The others deferred to him without question. When his gray eyes met Emily's, she felt something unfamiliar, not hunger, not judgment, recognition. Soon small kindnesses appeared. Firewood stacked neatly, water drawn before she woke, paths cleared through snow. No credit claimed, no words spoken. She knew it was Jacob. Then Red Callahan came back from town. His voice carried poison, a name, a place, Dove's Rest. The room froze. Emily stood motionless, ladle trembling. She denied it, softly but firmly. No one listened. Silence followed, thick, damning. Even Jacob said nothing. That hurt the most. She left without a word. Outside the first snow fell, soft, clean, unforgiving. After that, cruelty sharpened. The men tested her endurance with whispers meant to wound. Emily answered with labor. She worked harder, spoke less. Her silence became armor. Until Red crossed the line. In the barn's dim warmth, he cornered her. His hand reached out. Jacob's voice cut through the air. The fight was brief and brutal. Jacob moved with controlled fury, ending it in the snow. His warning was unmistakable. From that day on, mockery died. So did warmth. Emily became a ghost in her own kitchen. Then came the fire. A spark, wind, flames climbing walls, smoke choking breath, Emily trapped. Jacob burst through the blaze, wrapped in soaked wool, carried her out as the roof collapsed behind them. In the snow, he held her like something precious, fear etched openly across his face. She lived, and in that moment she understood him. He wasn't weak, he was haunted. Recovery brought truth. Jacob was the ranch owner's son. He had hidden behind labor to escape a legacy he feared, to be seen as himself.
Emily felt betrayed. Old wounds reopened. She fled into the storm. In the barn, with the blizzard screaming outside, he found her. Words finally spilled. Fear, regret, love, and then the deepest truth of all. A girl long ago, a saloon, a boy who stayed silent while her life was destroyed. Emily forgave him, because the man standing before her was not that boy. When the storm broke, the ranch faced its reckoning. Jacob stood his ground, drew his line. The land changed hands, not by inheritance, but by courage. Years later, the Double S thrived. Where fire once destroyed, warmth now welcomed. Emily ran a kitchen that became a refuge. Jacob worked beside her, unburdened at last. They married under an open sky. The wind still crossed the plains, but now it passed gently. And there, in the heart of the West, two survivors stood together, proof that even the harshest land can grow something whole.